Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick.
Southeast Radio.
Good morning, I'm Karl Fitzpatrick and welcome to Business Matters. Well, more and more people are turning to life coaches for direction about their career. My first guest this morning, Nicola Mulhall, is a life coach based in Gorey, and she joins me now to share her advice on how you can start your journey to a fulfilling career. Nicola, you really speak from personal experience because your first foray into the working world was far from fulfilling for you.
Good morning, Karl. Thanks for having me. Yeah, sure. So I suppose where I started off was working in accounts. I worked in the same company there for many years. I loved the company. I loved the people I worked with, but I remember describing this as feeling dead inside. I knew there was something missing. It just was not fulfilling in any way, shape or form for me. I remember looking around, with my team, and they were really fulfilled with the work. So I just knew this was not for me.
I'm sure that's something that a lot of our listeners can relate to this morning. So how did you set about changing your career and ultimately your life?
So I did a degree. It's very challenging, but it was the best decision I've probably ever made. Really rewarding. I knew this is what I was meant to be doing. So when I finished the degree and I excelled at that, I went on to become a trainer and a mentor and went on to train as a professional coach. So for the last few years, I've been working as a trainer, mentor and a professional coach. And this led me to setting up my own business as a professional life and career coach, and I'm also a trainer.
So what services do you now provide through Nicola Mulhall Coaching?
So I'm a professional life and career coach. So I provide life coaching, career coaching, business coaching, and also I run a number of workshops and talks as well because I'm a trainer.
And what type of clients do you typically work with?
So to be honest with you, I work with a whole range of clients. I have men and women. I have all ages, starting from students up to people in their 60s, from a range of different backgrounds. I have people working in law, accounts, banking, teaching, nursing, training, you name it. And people then I've got new business owners as well. So there's quite a variety of people, but I suppose what a lot of people struggle with might be, it's the same thing in common. They know they want more. They know they feel stuck, whether it's in life, career or business. They possibly know where they want to go to, but there's something standing in their way. There's something holding them back. So that's where I come in and help them uncover all that, I suppose.
And what approach do you take to uncovering that?
So a one-size-fits-all approach doesn't work. I would take on the whole system, the whole person. So rather than sitting down and getting straight into goal setting, I'd be looking at the whole system, their head, their heart, their gut. So, making sure they're taking the whole lot into account. So they're looking at the different options available. They're looking at what they really want. What are their values? Are these options aligned with those values? What impact will these decisions have on me and others? What's holding them back from where they want to go to? If they know where they want to go, well, why aren't they there? What's the challenges that they have been facing, and how do we help overcome those challenges? And from there, then setting your goals and your personalised plans, setting milestones, and I would be then there to support them, keep them on track, help them stay focused, and very importantly for a lot of people is holding them accountable as well.
And from your experience, Nicola, what percentage of people fall into a career as opposed to plan their way into one?
I would say quite a lot because, to be honest, I know myself now when I left school, I didn't have an absolute clue what I wanted to do. So I think it's very difficult for people to decide at 17, 18, even 19, 20, 21 or whatever, what they want to do for the rest of their lives. So until you go out and do it, you have no idea if it's what you really want to do or not. I mean, it took me till my 30s to really figure that out, and it takes people longer, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. It doesn't matter. It's a very hard thing to just, be expected to know from the age of, 17, 18,
Now, I'd like to talk to you about Impostor Syndrome. What is it and how does it manifest itself in people's daily lives?
Well, Impostor Syndrome, I suppose, first of all, I think we all experience it to some level, to some degree. Impostor Syndrome is basically where, this actually affects a lot of maybe people really high up in businesses or whatever. It's like they're doing really well, they're really successful, but there's something niggling away at them, and it's basically telling them that they don't deserve this. The feeling of not being good enough. So they could be really, really successful. So all the facts are telling them they're doing great, and maybe other people are telling them they're doing great, but something inside of them is just telling them it's a core belief that they aren't good enough.
Now, this week, over 55,000 students throughout Ireland received their Leaving Cert results. But for those students who perhaps didn't receive the results or the offers that they may have wanted, what advice do you have for them?
I would say, and I know this sounds easier said than done, but I would say don't panic. I think there are just so many options out there. And even if you don't get your first result or the choice that you wanted or whatever, there are other ways. There are PLC courses, there are other degrees. It's not necessarily like, one option or whatever. There are many different ways to get to the same destination, I suppose. So it's about sitting down and exploring, okay, it didn't go exactly according to plan, but what other routes can I take to end up at that destination anyway?
It's a very good point that you make, and I think that an awful lot of parents aren't aware that there are backdoors through the PLC system.
100%. And when you're 17, 18, 19 years of age, what's another year, And these PLC courses, they can be great because they can give the child as well, or the teenager, a really good indication of, is this really for me? So it gives them a year to decide, a taster, I suppose, of what's ahead of them for the next, before they've committed to their 4-year honours degree, their master's or whatever. It gives them a year of a taster to decide, is this for me? And also it gives them an extra year to mature, because going straight from school into college can be a massive transition for a lot of teenagers, So it can often be a really, really good thing.
And for the group of students who have no idea about the career path which they want to pursue, how can they achieve clarity on this?
What I would do working with students like that is help them kind of look at their strengths, what motivates them, their skills, what they're good at, what are their interests, and then kind of align with that rather than, what they think they should do or what, their parents or their friends or their teachers or whatever tell them maybe is a good profession or maybe just society or whatever. If they actually can get to really know themselves well and align with that, I think they have a much higher chance of maybe liking what they're doing.
Now, wellbeing is a term that is used across all businesses, and I know that you're involved in running a corporate wellbeing programme. What does that entail?
Yeah, I was delivering a number of talks on wellbeing and work-life balance, and there was a lot of interest coming back from businesses about a kind of corporate wellbeing programme. It's not just kind of, to help the employees, but it's to help the employees, the employers and the whole business, because without, if you have an unhappy workforce, you have less productivity, you have more absenteeism, you have lower job satisfaction, which in turn then leads to more staff turnover. And all of this affects the bottom line. So by investing in corporate wellbeing, investing in your employees, this kind of leads to, employees being able to manage stress better teamwork, better communication between the team and between, employees and employers, management and employees. And then it helps everybody, I suppose, to work towards common company goals. So the benefits for the company are, well worth the investment in a corporate wellbeing programme.
Well, if you've just tuned in, that was life coach Nicola Mulhall, and I'd like to thank Nicola for sharing her advice with us this morning.
Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick.
Southeast